Well, good morning and happy Saturday, ladies and gentlemen. Steve Collins coming to you from gorgeous San Antonio, Texas, the second most powerful, passionate, and purposeful coach and speaker in the world. Hope you guys are having a wonderful Saturday morning. Are you insane? Are you insane? Let's talk about that real quickly. Are you currently living the life you believe you can live? Is my question. Are you currently living the life you believe is possible for you? Are you currently experiencing the life that you envision in your heart is something you can actually live? Or are there dreams in your heart yet to be unlocked? Are there ideas, goals, visions, things that you see and you know that you're capable of doing and becoming and having, and yet you are not quite there yet? Well, the question I would like to ask you this morning is, what are you doing differently, or what will you do differently today that you did not do yesterday? So when I say, are you insane? The idea comes from an Albert Einstein quote that the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. Is your marriage getting better? Then what are you doing different? Is your health getting better? What are you doing different? Is your spiritual life better? What are you doing different? Is your financial life better? Well, what are you doing different? Is your emotional life better? Well, what are you doing different? What are you doing differently? And what will you choose to do differently today that you did not do yesterday? And here's the trap. The trap is the very part of our brain that keeps us from having to overthink everything every day also provides a prison for breaking free and moving into creativity and change. So let me explain what I mean by that. So there's basically 4 stages of learning when you're taking on a new skill set, and that's unconscious incompetence. I don't even know. Unconscious incompetence. I don't even know what I don't know. The second phase is conscious incompetence when you're exposed to material. Whoa, that's a lot of stuff that I don't know. Then you begin to move forward in learning that, talking yourself through it, called conscious competence, where you are talking yourself through the process. Then after about 10,000 hours of that mastery, time on task, you walk into what we call unconscious competence, where you just flow. That's people that you see in a gifting. That's Tiger swinging that golf club. That's Jordan jumping from the free throw line, flying through the air and slam dunking the ball. That's Jeff Gordon racing. That's when you see the best of the best doing what they do at their highest level. Unconscious competence, in your flow. This is where you're in your flow and moving it. The best example is driving a car. When you were in the car with your parents, you never thought about anything. You were unconscious incompetent. You didn't even know what you didn't know. Then when you turned 15 and you knew you could get your driver's license soon, you started paying attention, going, oh my gosh, how do you drive next to an 18-wheeler? Whoa, what do you do when there's a car that close to you? How do I parallel park? What do I do? Now you're conscious incompetence. I totally know what I don't know. Then you move into put your hands on the wheel, 10 and 5, look up at the rearview mirror, look in those rearview mirrors. Is it right or left? What do I do? Okay, stoplight, turn the right blinker on. That is now conscious competence. Now, all of you get to work and you walk into your office and you think, oh my God, how did I get here? Holy cow, I don't even remember the freaking drive. Because you're unconscious competence, you're in the flow. So that part of your brain which takes the things you do regularly and turns it into a system, or what we would call a habit, okay, a habit. That's how, if you drive the same way to work every day, you don't even realize how you got there most of the time, because there's a part of your brain that keeps you from going nuts, because you don't have to wake up every day and say, okay, get in my car. Okay, put the hands at 10 and 3. Okay, look in the rearview mirror. Okay, what do I get on 1604? Okay, you just do it because it's a habit now. You don't even have to think about it. Well, my friends, that's there so that you don't have to suck up all that mental energy to do what you've got to do, because it's now a habit. So here's why You are not where you want to be today. Here's why you're not doing what you want to do today. And here's why you do not yet have the results that you want today. Because I have total compassion on you. I feel and I have grace and mercy for you, because it's freaking hard, because you have a habit. You have a habit in your physical life, whether you work out or don't. You have a habit in your personal relationship life, how you relate to your spouse or your loved ones or your kids. You have a relationship, hopefully, with God that maybe you're doing the same thing you've always done. Maybe you're a submarine Christian, where you blah, 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 blah. You come up Sunday for church. How's it going? Praise the Lord. Love y'all. And then blah, 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 blah. Go back down during the week. I don't know. Maybe you're doing the same things that you've always done in your financial life. Maybe you're still spending more than you save. Does that make sense? So if you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always got. Are you insane to think that you can change and reach your goals and reach your dreams without a forceful season of incredible discomfort, frustration, stress, and failure, which is not a person, it's an event, Zig Ziglar says. It's an event, not a person. It's feedback. It doesn't mean you're a bad person. You're so terrible. You failed. Naughty, naughty you. I want you to fail. I hope you fail. I desire that you fail. I want you to be the biggest failure you can be, because it's the quickest way to get to success, because nobody knows how to do the hard stuff at first. The hard stuff is always hard until it gets easy, y'all. It's always hard at first. And yet if you're committed to the goal, you're committed to your why, you're committed to your dreams, you're committed to your goals, then you must understand that part of your brain that is there to keep you from having to think through everything every day, that puts you in a pattern, in a habit, that very thing that's designed to be a blessing to you so you can use your brain for other areas and other focuses, is also the prison that can keep you trapped from breaking out of your current situation, your current experience, and the current goals you are or are not reaching. The thing that was designed to bless you can be the thing that curses you if you don't have a conscious awareness that it is a participatory conversation. You have got to talk with God and talk to you. You have got to know that in order to achieve your goals, you are insane to think you're going to achieve them doing the same thing you've always done. If you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always got. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. You will not go straight. Thank you. This is my precious bride, Andrew. She's up in here. Can you say hi this morning, Miss Thing? Well, what? You will always get the same stuff, guys. The same stuff if you do the same thing. Because let me tell you something. Your brain doesn't want you to change. Your brain doesn't want you uncomfortable. Your brain doesn't want you freaking out. Your brain doesn't want to do that. You know why? Because when you do the things you've always done, the way you've always done them, it releases endorphins and dopamines, and you get stoned, y'all, off of doing things the same way, because it releases pleasure. That's why women and men in abusive relationships don't break out of them, because even though it's painful and horrible and the results are terrible, it's familiar. And that familiarity creates a false sense of physical, chemical security, because to step out, move out, and say, I'm done with you, sucker, I'm out of here, I'm going to start a new life, releases no chemicals of, I feel good, I feel familiar, I feel comfortable. It releases no chemicals of, I'm used to this. It holds those chemicals in, and it keeps a person locked into not being able to break out, even when it's something that could be life or death. Friends, are you insane? Are you doing the same things over and over again, expecting different results? Recognize this. The very thing that was designed to bless you, to keep you from going nuts every day with the same mundane routine tasks, that thing that's designed that you don't have to think about it, you just go in your flow, that same thing will trap you and keep you from pursuing your dreams and goals, because your body wants to do what it's always done, the way that it's always done it, so it can keep getting stoned off of those chemicals that are released when you were doing the familiar things. And as soon as you decide, I'm done, that's it, I'm over, I'm finished, You must be willing to go through that season where it hurts like hell. It's uncomfortable. You feel terrible. And it's like taking a bottle of Jack Daniels away from the alcoholic. You will go through literal physical withdrawals when you make a huge change in your life. And if you're not willing to fight through those withdrawals for the new life, just like an alcoholic giving up that alcohol and stopping that chemical from coming into their body, you will stay where you've always been in your miserable state. Whatever area you're not happy in and you're miserable in, you're going to stay there, man. Because the comfort of crappy familiarity is easier to handle than the discomfort and that season you go through where you're shutting down those chemicals and you're detoxing, you're going cold turkey to start a new life. You want a new life? You got to be willing to be different, do different, think different, and you have to suck it up during that detox time and go through that pain and go through that suffering. Friends, I'm going to give you the good news and the bad news. The bad news is you probably can't do it yourself. The good news is there's a God who can and does desire to help you. Because when you come out on the other side, baby, you're not going to sit there and pat yourself on the back and say, I'm such an amazing self-made man. No, you're going to say, but for God. If God hadn't come through for me, if the good Lord hadn't helped me, I couldn't be here. And the right one will get the glory for your success. I hope you make the decision today, guys. Be willing to break through. There's a big life outside of your comfort zone. Have a great weekend, guys.